Yeah, I'll just stay in here. I mean, like I said, we're not in a hurry. So, hi, Alexis. How you doing? I'm on my way home from San Antonio, on our way back to Houston. Hi, Sally. So I just remembered a call that I received from my abuser years ago. This is years ago. It's not recent. I was in the UK, obviously, and we were in the middle of planning our wedding, my second wedding with my current husband. And I remember one day, the call came in, my husband picked it up, and he said, "Oh, this is for you." It sounds like, because I was kind of like, "Who is that?" And he said, "It sounds like someone from Zimbabwe, from the accent." So I was like, "Oh, okay." This was the house phone, not cell phone. So I answered the call, and guess who was at the other end, of the line? It was my abuser. So the first question I asked him, I said, "Who gave you my number? This is my landline. It's not even my cell phone." And he was like, "Oh, hi, Paida." And he was like, "Oh yeah, somebody gave it to me, back home in Zimbabwe. Somebody had given him my landline number." And he was like, "I'm here at Heathrow Airport. Can you come and meet me?" I was like, "Hell no, I ain't coming to meet you. Like, why should I come and meet you?" He was like, he started pleading with me, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for everything that I did. I'm sorry for, ill-treating you, for doing this and that." And I was like, apology accepted, but I'm not coming to meet you. And I was thinking, now I was just reflecting. I think somebody had told him that we were planning our wedding, and he was trying to, I guess, mess me up, kuchidira jecha. Because obviously he was trying to lure me back. Not like obviously it wasn't for love, because he was already married to his current wife. So I bet he was trying to get me to get back with him, so maybe he could then tell my husband that, "Look, we are back together," or I slept with her, and just to mess me up. This is what these manipulators do. That's what I think. That's what he was trying to do, but I didn't give him a chance. Once bitten, twice shy. I was so done with this guy. So anyway, I wasn't rude, or I didn't hang up on him on the phone or whatever, because my son wasn't with me then. So I had to be, played smart, because I was still planning to get my son to move, to the UK. So, and knowing the Zimbabwean laws, the father has the, I guess, final say. Because I remember when we were applying for my son's passport, because he was a minor, he had to sign, the application forms. So I knew that. So I knew that I had to play my cards well if I wanted my son to join me in the UK. So, I was kind of nice. I just explained to him that, no, I can't do that. I can't come to, meet you. I'm doing something else, whatever. My husband and I going out. I can't remember what I said, but I just kind of worked my way out of it, in a nice way. So then when we went to Zimbabwe to get married, I also remember very well the morning of the wedding. Oh my God, we couldn't get him off the phone. And he sounded very drunk. And I remember my cousin, handing me the phone saying he wants to talk to you. So he was begging me, "I'm so sorry." He tried everything. He didn't want to get off the phone. In the end, my cousin was like, "You know what? We have a wedding. We are, she's going to be late. She can't be on the phone with you. So the point I'm trying to make is, be careful with these people, manipulators, narcissists. That's what they do. If they see that you've done something for yourself, they will try and come back, to you and say, apologize, controlling behavior. They make you believe, just like how they make you believe when they're abusing you, just like how they make you believe that, they are sorry and they'll never do it again, but then they turn around and do it again. It's the same thing. They can do it years after you've, separated or you've left. If they just find out that your life is, you're doing good, you are taking care of yourself, and because most of the time these guys, what they think that once you leave them, you're gonna be nothing, right? Like they always kind of tell you that you are nothing, you'll never be anything, you'll never be anyone, without me you're nothing. In their mind, that's what they think. They even think that when you leave, that's how it's gonna be. But if it turns out to be that they were wrong and you're actually better off without them, then they'll hunt you down. They'll do whatever it takes to find your phone number, your email address. They'll be blasting your phone, texting you, emailing you, begging you to forgive them. I'll never do it again. I'll learn my lesson, blah, 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 blah. Don't fall for it. Because they don't want you to see happy. They don't want to see you happy. They want to see you sad. So they'll do this so that once you are again, back with them, now they have access to control you, abuse you again, all over again, right? So don't fall for it. That's another thing. Because, as a survivor myself, that's why it's the best thing for a survivor like myself to tell other domestic violence survivors or victims, because I lived it. This is why I talk about it, because I actually lived with it. I'm not just talking about it because, I know somebody or somebody told me their story or whatever. I was actually a domestic violence victim. And I call myself a survivor now because I survived. Oh, okay. I kind of stopped there because I thought this guy was changing lane. Anyway, so that's why I always say the best resource for other domestic violence victims is a domestic violence survivor. Because there are a lot of things that I wished people had told me, other survivors had told me, but I'm glad I kind of went through it, in a smart way. Like I only stayed in the marriage for under 2.5 years, and when he tried to get back with me, I said no. I stood my ground and I said no. And imagine if I had fell for it that day. He could have maybe, I don't know, called my husband and told him that, look, she still loves me. I gave her a call, and she jumped on the train or into the car and came and meet me. She's always going to be mine. You know how people say stuff just to piss off the other person? Who knows what he would have thought? Probably they've believed him and say, you know what, maybe he's right, since they have history. That kind of thing. I think that's what he was trying to do, because I don't think he was doing it because he was really sorry for what he did. I don't think it was genuine. So my instinct, this is why it's important to follow your instinct. Instinct usually tells you, darling, do we really need to speed like this? Yeah, we are not in a hurry, Yeah, sometimes, when you are not driving, it's scary when somebody else is driving. I don't know. I just feel in control when I am the one driving. So when he puts his foot down like this, it's like just scary. Anyway, so Yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. If you are a victim, you are still living with your abuser, and or you left and they are in the middle of trying to get you back, think twice, please, before you fall for it, because the chances are they are not doing it because they want you back. I bet there's somebody somewhere out there who has the family members, the friends, everybody. They're asking everybody to beg you for forgiveness on their behalf. That's another way they use friends and family as well to say, oh, can you talk to her? You know, tell her I'm really, really sorry. Because of their manipulative tendencies, you know, they are very good at it. You know, you actually, you know, like believe them sometimes. They look really, really like they mean it. But guess what? If you talk to a lot of women, like now I'm talking to a lot of survivors or victims, right? And it's the same story. Oh, you know, he said he was going to change. Oh, you know, he told me he was going to do it again. But they still do it. They might stop for 6 months or a year, but at the end of the day, you know, they are just wasting your time. Because you try to move on, right? You move on and you about, you know, almost forgetting about them. Like they're like, okay, this is it, I'm done, you know, I'm on my own, I'm single again. And boom, they came back again. Because now they see that, you know, you're doing your own thing or whatever, or they've realized that, oh, this lady was actually taking care of me. Especially if they don't work and you are the breadwinner. They just want you to come back because they want you to take care of them, not because they love you. They just want you to take care of them. So they realize after you leave, they kind of realize that, oh, dang, I messed up. I can get out. You know, I know what to do. You hear them saying that, oh, I know what to do. I'll just tell her that, you know, I love you, I'm sorry for what I did, or blah, blah, blah. And most of the time it works because, you know, women, we are just, you know, we have a good heart. You know, that's why it takes 7 times. They say it takes 7 times for a woman to actually leave finally. 7 times you go, they beg you to come back, you come back. You know, you keep doing that 7 times. Usually the seventh time is that's when you say, I'm done. But it doesn't have to be seven times. It's just statistics out there. You know, for me, I did it once and that was it. So some people do it twice, some people 3 times. It just depends on what's going on, how intense the abuse is, and where you are getting your advice, you know. So usually that's why they say look at the person who is giving you an advice, not the advice, but the person. Like, okay, what do you know about domestic violence? Are you just talking about it because you're reading it, you know, in the books, or you studied it at school, or did you actually lived it? You know what I'm saying? So there's a kind of a difference there. This is why a lot of people don't understand. You know, those people who say, why can't you just leave? Or if he was doing all this to you, if he was, you know, abusing you like this, why didn't you just leave? Because those people, they never lived it. They don't get it. You see? This is why if you talk to someone who has actually lived domestic violence, whether it's physical, emotionally, spiritually, financially, those people understand more. So those are the people you need to, you know, talk to. Listen to those people, because they'll get you. They'll understand you straight away. They won't judge you, because that's a lot. Most of the time, okay, he's speeding again. I like it, seriously. Most of the time, that's why. Now I've lost what I was gonna say. Because every time he puts his foot down, I'm like scared. Let me just turn the camera. See, let me show you. That's the dude who is driving. So as you can see, that's our scenery while we're driving from San Antonio to Houston. Texas is huge. See, it's all trees. Anyway, so guys, like I always say, I want to finish this live now. If you are planning to leave, do it carefully. Plan your exit carefully. Don't rush it. You know, there's a lot of resources out there. Abby, hi Abby. Or maybe there's somebody who wants to, it's called hoovering. Or is it hoovering like when they try to seduce you to come back once they see? Is that what you mean by that? Or can I add you? So you can explain that. Do you want to explain hoovering? Let me see if I can add Haida. If she wants to be added, she will. Who is Elizabeth? Haida, I don't even see. Does anybody know what's hoovering? I might have to Google this. Google it. Let me see if I can bring Paida on. Paida, I'm trying to add you. I mean, you don't have to accept to come on if you don't want to. I'm just trying to see if I can add you. If you can explain. Can't bring Paida on camera. Ah, okay. Anyway, Paida said it's called hoovering. I guess she's referring to what I was explaining, where your abuser tries to get you back. You know. Hi, Sbongle. How are you doing? And Elizabeth. I was just talking about an incident that happened when my abuser called me. He was at Heathrow years ago, asking me to meet him at Heathrow Airport. Yeah, and I was in the middle of planning my wedding with my current husband. So, you know, those are the things that happens when once you start straightening your life and you are like, you know what? I've sorted myself out now, and the abuser comes back again, trying to mess everything up for you, because they don't want to see you happy. They just want to see you, or they were expecting you to be nothing after you left, and now they realize that, oh my God, this person is actually happier now, and then they come around trying to be all nice and all that stuff. Don't fall for it, guys. Don't fall for it. All right, guys. Nobody wants to join in. But you know what? I understand with my platform is it's hard to talk about domestic violence, especially if you are in it. Because, you know, you can actually get into trouble. Like if it's your abuser is one of those who likes to punch. Hey, if your abuser is one of those Mike Tysons like mine was, if they find out that you were on live talking about them, you know, yeah, you can get into trouble. So I get it. So I don't want to anyone to get into an unsafe situation. You being here, just listening, is good enough. Because if I can inspire you, encourage you, at least to realize that you are in an abusive relationship, because a lot of us, we are in denial, you know. Just because he's not putting his hands on you doesn't necessarily mean that that's not, you know, abuse. So And I know a lot of people don't realize that there's different forms of abuse. So, yeah, just talking about it, me talking about it, I know it's going to help someone out there. Even if it helps just one person, that's fine. I'm still helping somebody. That's why I talk of my experiences. Because I just, like today, I just thought, oh my God, maybe I've never mentioned this. There could be somebody who is in the same situation where the abuser is trying to get them to get back with them because they just want to, ruin everything that they are trying to build for themselves. So let me just say something that it might resonate with somebody out there. Don't fall for it, because they just want to see you. And this time, if you agree to give them another chance, because now they know that you have potential, right? You can actually go out there and be on your own and actually do better. Now they know it. Initially, they didn't know. They didn't think that you could do it. So if now they know that you can do it, imagine what they're going to do. They will make sure that they really, really make sure. That's when you hear that, oh, he was getting credit cards, loans in my name. He did this, he did that, or you make sure you lose your job, or they'll do just anything and everything to ruin your life. Once they know that you you have potential and you can do this. This is why it's even more dangerous to actually leave, go away for 2 years, 3 years, do your own thing, be successful in whatever you're doing. Then they come back to you and you take them back. I think that is even more dangerous, in my opinion. I didn't do that, but I think it will be more dangerous. So I suggest that if you leave and things are working out, you're better off just keep it that way. I mean, obviously most of us will have kids, right? But that doesn't, mean that you have to go back because of the kids. It's just putting your life in danger. Yeah, you're putting your life in more danger if you do that. So anyway, I thought I better, share my thoughts about that. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.